It is generally considered that the biological clock starts slowing down in our late 30s to early 40s. With today's modern lifestyle, more women also plan to have children later in life and as a result often struggle to fall pregnant. And that is why the procedure of egg freezing has become more relevant and in demand.
Thanks to huge improvements in technology, fertility treatment is gaining momentum in leaps and bounds. Storing a woman's eggs provide options for couples facing various situations which affect their fertility, whether it's health or career demands. Dr. Tam-Tam Matabese talks us through the process of egg storage.
What does egg freezing entail exactly?
Basically, egg freezing is when a woman would like to preserve her fertility, to use her eggs for later in her life for whatever reason. It could be that the woman is going to undergo cancer treatment. We know that most cancer treatments would destroy the eggs in the ovary. It could be that for social reasons, that most women are career-orientated nowadays, that the woman is not ready to have children, but obviously we know that the egg numbers would start to decline, so the woman might want to freeze the eggs. And in some cases, even women who are just undergoing in vitro fertilization, for some religious or cultural reasons, they might not want to freeze embryos, so they would rather freeze eggs. So basically then the woman would have to undergo like an in vitro fertilization cycle. That means she gets medication to stimulate her ovaries to make a lot of eggs. The eggs are then harvested out of the body in theater using a certain technique, and then the eggs would then be frozen under very specific conditions.
Are there any risks involved?
It's basically a very safe procedure. The woman would get an anesthetic for us to retrieve the eggs, so there would be a few anesthetic risks as with any operation or surgery. Because we are working through the vagina, a slight risk of pelvic infection, but this is very, very rare.
The cost of egg freezing can range from 15,000 to 30,000 Rand. The amount is dependent on a number of factors, but medication is the key component of the price.
What are the success rates?
The success rate is a little bit lower than when you use fresh eggs, but it is very comparable. As a result of this, the American Society of Reproductive Medicine has actually lifted the phrase that this is an experimental procedure, because we know it is a very worthwhile procedure for most women.
To produce the eggs, a woman has to take daily injections for about 10 to 14 days. These have an effect on the body, so being physically healthy does play a role.
Mentra, you are an embryologist. What role do you play in the whole process?
The laboratory technical aspect of freezing the oocytes, after the egg collection, going through the processes of freezing and storing the oocytes.
How does it work from harvesting the eggs to the actual point of freezing?
It's quite a simple process, but it's very technically involved. Once the eggs are harvested, we keep them in the lab for about 2 hours, and then 2 hours later we start the freezing process. That process itself, from preparation until an egg is frozen and stored, can take up to 15 minutes. It's more technical than time-consuming. You have to be very skilled at doing it, so it's frozen properly so that when you come to warming the oocytes, there has been no damage.
Aside from the cost and physical factors, being mentally prepared for the process can make or break the enjoyment and success of the potential pregnancy.
Are there any psychological aspects that we have to consider?
Yes, indeed, Vicky. I think counseling is a major part of this entire process, because as much as we've said this is showing promise, it's also not a guaranteed process. So there's a lot of psychological aspects involved, because we do not want women to think that, they can freeze eggs and that they will definitely walk away from the clinic with the baby one day.
Education, research and consultations with fertility experts are the basis for a good experience with egg storage. Please consult your doctor for information.
Keeping in mind that success is not 100% guaranteed, egg freezing still provides a beacon of hope to women and families who seek to bring new life into the world.